a sunny morning in small-town New Mexico, 19-year-old Tara Calico left her home for what would become her final bike ride. It was September 20th, 1988. She borrowed her mother's neon pink Huffy mountain bike. Hers was broken, and set off along State Road 47, a familiar route she rode almost every morning. Tara carried only a Sony Walkman, her headphones, and a cassette tape ostensibly of the band Boston. She told her mother, Patty Dole, to come pick her up at noon. If she hadn't returned, she had plans to play tennis at 12:30 p.m. with her boyfriend. When noon came and went, and no one had heard from Tara, her mother grew worried. Patty drove along Tara's usual bike route, retracing the stretch of road she knew her daughter would have traveled. She found no sign of Tara or her bicycle. Later that same day, pieces of Tara's Walkman and her cassette tape were discovered scattered along the roadside. But her bike and Tara herself were nowhere to be found. Some witnesses reported seeing Tara during her ride that morning. Shockingly, a few said they saw her being followed by a light-colored pickup truck with a camper shell. One of those witnesses claimed the passenger tried to talk to her, maybe even reach out, raising serious concerns. Authorities investigated, but the truck's driver was never definitively identified. To this day, no trace of Tara's neon pink bike has ever been recovered. Months passed. The case grew cold. But then, in June of 1989, an unsettling clue emerged more than 1,600 miles away in a parking lot in Port St. Joe, Florida. Someone found a Polaroid photograph lying in the lot of a convenience store. In the image, a teenage girl and a young boy, both bound and gagged with black duct tape, lying on what appeared to be a bed in the back of a van or bus. The horror of that photograph would become central to what many believe is the most chilling piece of the Tara Calico mystery. Witnesses at the Florida crime scene recalled that a white Toyota cargo van, without windows, was parked where the photo was later found. The man driving that van was described as a white male, about 30-ish, with a mustache. Roadblocks were set up to try to intercept the van, but the driver was never located. Forensic experts tried to analyze the photograph. Scotland Yard concluded the young woman was Tara, but a second analysis by Los Alamos National Laboratory strongly disagreed. Their report said she was definitely not Tara. An FBI analysis returned inconclusive results. Tara's mother, Patty, believed in her heart that the woman in the Polaroid was her daughter. She pointed to a scar on the right leg of the girl in that image, a scar she said was identical to one Tara had from a previous car accident. Next to the girl in the photo lay a paperback book, My Sweet Audrina, by V.C. Andrews, reportedly one of Tara's favorites. Despite the ongoing debate, that Polaroid ignited national interest in her disappearance. The photo was aired on television, on programs such as A Current Affair in July of 1989. Relatives of a young boy from New Mexico, Michael Henley, contacted investigators, believing him to be the boy in the picture. Michael had disappeared earlier that same year, in April of 1988, while on a turkey hunting trip with his father. However, his body was later discovered in June of 1990 in the Zuni Mountains, far from where Tara vanished. Because of that, many now consider it unlikely that the boy in the Polaroid was Michael. Over the years, more photographs surfaced, each more mysterious than the last. One image, found near a construction site in Montecito, California, showed a blurry face of a woman, her mouth covered, lying against light blue striped fabric, eerily similar to the first photo. Another showed a woman bound in gauze, wearing large glasses, sitting with a man on what looked like an Amtrak train. The film types used sparked suspicion. Some of the film stocks were not available until months after Tara disappeared. Still, as many debated their origins, her family never gave up. Through it all, the investigation into Tara's disappearance remained fragmented. Former Valencia County Sheriff René Rivera has made grave accusations over the years. He claimed there were local boys, now grown men, who were responsible, and that their families may have helped cover the crime. According to Rivera, the men may have accidentally struck Tara with their truck, panicked, and buried her in a nearby area. He said he knew names, but without a body, he could not make a solid criminal case. In 1998, a judge officially declared Tara deceased, ruling her disappearance a homicide, even though her remains had never been found. Patty Dole, her mother, held on fiercely to hope. She moved to Florida later in life, but she kept a bedroom ready for Tara, even after years passed. Patty passed away in 2006, never learning what truly happened to her daughter. Tara's father died earlier, in 2002, still holding on to unanswered questions. In recent years, the case has seen renewed attention. In 2023, investigators announced substantial progress. Evidence from a sealed search warrant was submitted to the district attorney. Lead investigator Lieutenant Joseph Rowland stated they now believe they have identified the offenders associated with Tara Calico's disappearance. Still, there's a haunting challenge. No body has been found, and initial crime scene investigations yielded no usable DNA. Through decades of uncertainty, internet communities and armchair detectives have stayed engaged. Podcasts, documentaries, and websites continue to re-examine every photograph, witness testimony, and new lead. Tara's case remains one of the most perplexing and tragic cold cases in modern American true crime. Her story is a reminder: even ordinary days can hide incredible darkness, and that some mysteries resist resolution for decades. What happened on that September morning remains hotly debated. Was Tara abducted by someone she knew? Was the Polaroid found in Florida a cruel hoax or a terrifying proof that she survived, if only briefly? Could forensic science one day definitively identify the figures in that photo? Her family believes she's out there, somewhere waiting to be brought home. And the world continues to watch, hoping for answers and justice for Tara Calico.